You have a sheet like this?
I don't. It's
Okay.
and you can kind of just pick pieces out of there that you're interested in, and then I will follow along with you on other bits and pieces.
Well, that's cool. All
Thank
right.
you.
Jennifer Arrington, New Mexico Naturals. Is this your business?
It is. I started it on my own.
And you have a kiosk.
I do.
What
Very-
do you want for a kiosk?
15% of my net sales.
That's all?
Well, it grows. So if I make 5,000, I have to pay them 15%. If I make 3,300, I have to pay them 15%. So it is a variation on whatever my net sales are.
Well, fascinating.
Yeah. It's easy to run because my inventory can stay low and I still look like I'm fully stocked, not bare shelved. And then I don't have to consistently have employees. I work mostly independently. I do have one teammate, but she only works on Sundays because she's a student.
Okay, I'm sorry. You
It's
can
okay.
scoot over there
Sure.
and pull that blue covered microphone over.
You got it.
Well, let me tell you the truth. I think that's my favorite Brooks and Dunn song. I just like it. Neon Moon, 99.1 FM, KCLV 820. It is a Tuesday morning, 75 degrees here on the high plains. Grant McGee in for the vacationing Rick Kiefer, enjoying himself. He said, if I had any trouble, give him a call. I said, I will not call you. I will not call you. Two reasons. Number one is you're on vacation. And number two, if I call you, that incurs a karmic debt, and that means you might call me when I'm on vacation, and I don't want you to call me on my vacation. So, Jennifer Arrington's here from New Mexico Naturals. Jennifer, you understand the law of karma, don't you? What goes around comes around.
100%.
100%, she says. Bless her heart. Pull that microphone close to you. Let's have a conversation.
Let's do it.
You've been here before talking about New Mexico Naturals, but we always like to talk to folks a little bit about their adventures in life and everything before we get down to finding out. And Jennifer's here with, well, she'll tell you why she's at the North Plains Mall at the New Mexico Naturals kiosk. She is a great American entrepreneur. That's her business. I did find out that much. But what I find interesting is she's one of our great Americans, born, obviously, apparently, near one or both of your parents in the U.S. military, I gather. Is that right?
That's correct. Both parents are vets.
All right. Salute to them.
Salute
Both
to them.
of them.
Both of them. Mm-hmm.
Both of U.S. Air Force?
Yeah, U.S. Air Force met at Fort Walton Beach, and
Imagine that.
exactly. And then I was obviously conceived there, and then born in the Philippines.
You're born in the Philippines. Once upon a time, it wasn't all that long ago, the United States had military bases in the Philippines. As a matter of fact, Jennifer and I were talking, not many folks pay attention to world history. Once upon a time, the United States had the Philippines as a territory.
Mm-hmm.
And I think basically Washington said, what are we going to do with this thing? And there's much more to it.
We're going to get tan.
So very cool, very good. Did you go to college here or anything?
I did attempt college, but...
That sounds familiar.
Yes.
I know a guy who's a DJ. He tried it too.
Yeah.
Anyway.
I did well, but life did get in the way. I have 4 children, so
Four.
they had
Salute
priority.
to you.
Thank you.
Of course, yes. Salute to you. How old are they?
I have 13, 11, 3, and 2.
All right. Salute to you.
Thank you.
Way to go, Mom. All right. You know, they should pay moms just for being moms, you know.
Yeah.
I think we had a story not too long ago. The estimated salary for everything moms do is $110,000 a year.
Mm-hmm. Per child. I should be a millionaire by now.
Well, we salute you for being a great American entrepreneur, Jennifer.
Thank you.
Jennifer, tell us in a nutshell, what is New Mexico Naturals?
So New Mexico Naturals is a solutions-based company. What we do is we take your cellular biology, we interpret it for you, and then we provide you with solutions for pain management, longevity, autoimmune mitigation, inflammatory diseases, just attempting to achieve harmony and happiness. We are multifaceted in what we do.
Nice. All from right there in that kiosk. In
Tiny
the North
little
Plains
kiosk,
Mall. I'll tell you what, now you wanted to focus in on magnesium today, and this is an alkali earth metal, but it's very important to our biology, magnesium, and the operation of our human body. What's the story?
So magnesium is required for every cell to function properly. And if you are deficient in magnesium, your cells have a miscommunication amongst one another. They're not able to keep the specific diameter that they're required to keep in order to maintain homeostasis. So it starts providing gaps for things to invade your body in. A lot of things that are kind of misunderstood whenever it comes to blood tests is that only 1% of your magnesium storage is throughout your bloodstream. So if you're deficient, a blood test isn't going to give you an indicator on that. You have to definitely pay attention to your body to realize whether or not you're deficient in magnesium. And really 90% of the population is deficient in magnesium, so that's a lot of us.
Are we missing this in some food?
We are. Soil depletion has a lot to do with it, but also just modifications over periods of time have prevented us from absorbing things properly as well.
Fascinating.
Yes.
Fascinating. Magnesium is what we're talking about, it and the need for it in our body chemistry. What about this and the enzymes?
So magnesium helps with over 300 enzyme commands throughout the body. And if you think of your body as an orchestra and every cell as an individual instrument, everything has its own tune or its own frequency that it has to play at. And sometimes you get the wrong instrument's sheet music given to it, and so
this is a fascinating analogy.
I like this analogy because it's easy for people to understand. And so what you have to do is you have to find that balance that your body's trying to achieve. And anybody who's dealing with emotional issues needs to use magnesium, because that is one of the major depleters of magnesium, is the emotional aspect of existence. So if you have a headache after crying, if you get angry and you have a headache, your magnesium is completely shot. Yes, it's insane, but it's one of those indicators that people like me pay attention to, because we really like to take a functional approach towards wellness and homeostasis, rather than just kind of label you as an adjective and push you down the line. That's a disadvantage to everyone across the spectrum.
Yeah, you gave me some notes here. One of your notes here says sedentary people who aren't doing anything, sit around a lot. They need more magnesium. What's the story?
So because they are not exercising and pulling the ATP, which is a metabolic function, out of their muscles to help with pulling the magnesium and distributing it through their cells more effectively, it doesn't move as well through their body. And you have to stretch and move and get stuff progressing in order for it to extend its life.
All right, fascinating. What can New Mexico Naturals do for folks who have, and it sounds like a lot of folks have this, for folks who have magnesium depletion?
So we can help with a topical magnesium chloride therapy, and you rub it on your feet. That's it. But it does more than just allow you to correct your deficiency. It helps with acne, it helps with diabetes, it helps with sugar mitigation.
Put the brakes on. Hang on a second. I have diabetes. It helps with diabetes? What's the story?
So depending on what type of diabetes you have.
Type 2.
Okay. So what magnesium does is it helps your insulin, your glucose, and your individual cells in your body communicate more effectively, and that's what we were referring to with the ATP.
Okay. All right.
Yes.
Now you have that, and I've heard about this, about things being absorbed through the soles of your feet. And so the feet, not many people realize that. I've heard many stories about folks saying you need to get out and walk barefoot on the earth every now and then to reconnect.
100%,
You know,
yes.
As long as you don't have goat heads.
Right, as long as you don't live in New Mexico where there's tumbleweeds dumping stuff everywhere.
Yeah. I'll watch out for those goat heads. But does magnesium, I may have asked you this, and I'm sorry if I didn't catch this, but magnesium occur naturally in foods?
It does occur naturally in foods, and that's really where you get it. Your body stores magnesium, but it doesn't necessarily manufacture it. It's
what kind of foods?
So you can get it from leafy green foods.
Oh, okay. All right, very cool. Yeah, I remember magnesium because you have a little bit in there about campfire starters. I remember magnesium. I used to do homemade gunpowder. Those of you who are listening, I did nothing illegal. I didn't do anything bad with it. I just they made it in chemistry class in high school. I decided I was going to make some at home.
Educational purposes only.
I know. I even took some of it on a date one time, and I set it off on a country road. When I got back to the car, the girl looked at me and she said, "You sure know how to show a girl a good time." Anyway, so yeah, because magnesium really like flares a lot. So it's a very fascinating mineral. So magnesium deficiency. You want to know more? Well, you go see Jennifer. Jennifer, when are you at the North Plains Mall?
I'm at the North Plains Mall Monday through Saturday from 10 a.m. to 9 p.m. I take lunch from 2 to 4.
That's a long day.
It is.
I tell you what. All right. So this is your time. Anything else you want to add that we did not cover? This is your opportunity to speak. Want to make sure you leave here a satisfied speaker, and we didn't leave anything unturned.
Oh, absolutely. So if you have any questions, you can call me at 575-742-8053. And then you can see me at New Mexico Naturals at the mall. And I don't charge for my initial visits, but if I have to get deeper into things, I do have a fee that I charge, and I am willing to work with people who are on a budget.
All right, there you go. Jennifer Arrington, New Mexico Naturals, great American entrepreneur. She's Air Force. She was born in the Philippines, but she lives right here. Where are your parents now?
So my mother lives here with in New Mexico with in Clovis, and my father has passed.
Oh, I'm sorry to hear about that.
Well, it was when you make choices that shorten your life, that's what your consequence is.
I understand.
Yeah.
Well, anyway, it's interesting talking to you, and thanks for spending time with us this morning here on The Morning Show.
Absolutely, is a joy, Grant. Thank you so much.
Right here on The Morning Show, 99.1 FM KCLV. We have ourselves a temperature of 76 degrees, 8:31 our time. Okay? You have a good visit?
This was a blast. Thank you.
Okay.
I was hoping I would have an opportunity to speak to you at some point whenever I was buying time on the radio stations, because you're fascinating as well.
Oh, well, thank you.
Absolutely.
I take that as a compliment.
For sure.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, we must be friends on the Facebook.